Alright, so this video will be the stock analysis for various stocks that are within my list. And if you're interested in other stocks, maybe you can put them in the comments section down below. I might review them, I might not review them in the next weekly analysis. Okay, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this weekly or bi-weekly because it's all on the higher time frames and it takes longer to play out. So yeah, anyways, this is the disclaimer, right? Please read it carefully and then you can pause the video here, right? But I'm gonna move on to the analysis right now. So let's start off with Amazon, right? Obviously we have this buy side liquidity here. That would be the next point of interest, right? The next target for price to attack, right? I've called this move since October, I think, right before the yearly open, right? Retracement into this inversion fair value gap here into high prices, right? Obviously I don't have to prove it to you. Anyways, this is what it is. Google, same thing here. It has already played out, right? Whether it's going to go higher or not, maybe, but I think I'm anticipating a retracement next quarter for Google. I don't really have to accept prices yet because we still have no opening price for the next month, so I have to wait for that, right? So I'm just gonna go through this briefly, and maybe next week or 2 weeks later we can review the price action to see what has it accomplished. Okay, Tesla, right? I mentioned a very long time ago, for Tesla to be bullish, it has to trade above the midpoint of this gap here, of this fair value gap, right? As long as it's below the midpoint, I'm looking for shorts. This will be the low hanging fruit here, and if it wants to really overextend, this would be the target, right? This is for Tesla. Palantir, we are rejected off this rejection block here, so, and it has closed the month like this, right? So I'm anticipating a deeper retracement, right? As of now, I am looking at the midpoint of this fair value gap, which is roughly about $20.71. Meta here, still really bullish as compared to the other stocks that I've previously mentioned, right? I think I can go for this -2 standard deviation that would come in around 533, right? But maybe a retracement into this level here before higher prices. Okay, Nvidia it's just parabolic price action. It's gonna continue going higher until it find a ceiling here, but I don't call tops above all-time highs. Okay, next we move on to Chinese stocks, right? So if you take a look at NIO, this is very interesting because I called it out on Twitter. Okay, same handle, you can take a look, right? Still bearish for NIO, right? As long as it's below this bullish order block, right? I mean this bearish order block, sorry. As long as it's below this bearish order block, I am no way bullish on NIO. It has to trade above this up close candle for me to be bullish on NIO, right? So lower targets. The next objective, I'm thinking it's going to be here. We have 3.96 and obviously this swing low and eventually all-time lows. I think we can get there for NIO based on the monthly closing, right? Because the monthly I closed below this inversion fair value gap here, it's going to be really bullish, I mean really bearish, right? The next sort of speed bump, I think it's going to be around this level here, right? Maybe we see some retracements back into this fair value gap here before we continue lower. That is what I'm anticipating for NIO. Right, for JD, same thing. as long as we are below this two up close candles, I'm gonna be bearish on JD, right? We have quite relatively equal lows here. Trading above this order block or this up close candle doesn't make a difference. It's just basically reaching into a inefficiency before lower prices, right? Because we have closed below this fair value gap that was used to send the price higher. So I'm thinking best case scenario, it doesn't trade into this inefficiency, but just rejects off this area here, right? This is supposed to be acting as resistance, right? But as you can see from this price action here, it's not that clean for JD. Luckin Coffee, same thing, bearish fair value gap here. I'm thinking this lows, but because on the higher time frames we have this level here, and on a 6 months time frame we have this bullish fair value gap, right? I think personally it can come down into this level here and then trade higher. Okay, we still have this rejection block that has yet to be attacked, and it has left relatively equal highs with regards to this level, and it's a even number, it's a whole number, sorry. So I think it can trade up into that area after trading into this 17.77. That's for Luckin Coffee. Tencent, same thing. Right now kind of bullish, right? Based on all the Chinese stocks that I've just given analysis on, the most bullish is of course Tencent, right? Since it had closed the weekly above this fair value gap that was used to send the price lower, I think it's looking for my invalidation here. So I think it can trade up into this area, but when you look at this price action here, it's a low probability, right? High resistance liquidity runs with deep retracements. Okay, that's not something that I would trade or that I would participate in, right? Rejected nicely off this last down close candle that took out this swing low here, right? All levels were called out previously beforehand on Twitter, right, for Tencent as well. Now BABA, interesting, right? Eventually I'm still looking at 57.2, right, all-time lows, because we have relatively equal lows here, right? Worst come to worst, it's going to overextend into 45.52. I think that would be a realistic target for BABA. Am I looking to buy BABA? Maybe below these levels. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say, right? Other than that, I'm not interested. On the higher time frames, it looks like trash. Okay, it looks like a shit coin, right? So not gonna be focusing too much, right? Even if I buy here, I'm just gonna exit off this area here if there are any inefficiencies for me to target. All right, that's for BABA. For C Limited, it's the same thing here. I'll call out the levels beforehand, right, on some Discord group here, right? Was anticipating a retracement of these levels, but I think eventually it's still gonna go down, but a retracement into fair value, 50% of this entire dealing range, pretty nicely done, 50% here, right? So interesting to watch, but not participating. Right, moving on to Singapore stocks here, we have SIA. SIA, similar to Luckin Coffee, I think can trade down into this area here and then higher, but we shall see. This is a shadow run, right? I don't really trust this run here, so let's see if we get another lockdown. Right, DBS on a yearly time frame, there's a bullish fair value gap. If it runs out this high first, I think it's a stop hunt for lower prices, something like this, right? But let's see. As long as it remains in this consolidation here, I have no interest. Genting, I'm anticipating it to retrace from this level here, okay, and I don't really want to see a closing price on the 3-month basis below 0.87, okay, and this month itself it has closed exactly at the midpoint of this fair value gap, so we're still good, right? Just that it has really deep retracements, which I don't really like for genting here. I think it can still go higher, but low probability. Okay, Capel called this many months ago, or yeah, many months ago. I was looking at this fair value gap here. This level here was my potential entry here, right? Basically, and I was doing an analysis for some other investors, but anyways, my entry was here, right? I'm looking for this high here, so right now it's gravitating towards it and looks good for Capel. Next, Semcorp, I think can reach up into this level, right? One more stop hunt above this high here, right? But price action looks a bit dicey. I'm not really liking this price action here, right? So because after this large expansion here, consolidation is definitely expected, but let's see if it runs this high here before lower prices. I'm still anticipating it to return to fair value, which would be if it attacks this level here around 6.27. I think 50% of this level here would not be an issue after reaching up into those levels here. Okay, so how high can it go? Not trying to call tops, right? New all-time high levels would be this level, 6.3, 6.8 and 7.3. okay, Seatrium, same analysis here for some other investor, but wasn't bullish, and I was calling for lower prices, right? Because of, if you take a look at the 6 months chart, we have relative equal lows down here. Okay, even on a monthly chart, right, take a look, we have relative equal lows here, and price is gravitating towards the level. So really bearish for Seatrium. Is like it's worse than some shit coins. Okay, I mean, like, take a look at this structure here, right? I'm not buying anything, not buying it anytime soon. I'm not recommending buys for Seatrium anytime soon. Okay, and that's it. Maybe let's touch on crypto. Maybe, just maybe. Right, let's take a look. Closing above all-time highs. Alright, for crypto, the month hasn't ended yet, right? Because it's a 24/7 market. So we shall see at April what's the opening price, right? I'm anticipating either consolidation or retracements. Can it go higher and continue to expand? Yes. Probability of it doing so very unlikely, right? Q1 we have this huge expansion taking out external liquidity, so for Q2 I'm anticipating some form of retracements, and then I think we can go higher in Q3. So what I'm expecting for Bitcoin will be something like this. So this is Q1, right? We have expanded way higher, taking out this swing high here. So for Q2, some retracements and then stop hunts, right? There's definitely going to be a stop hunt on the lower time frames. I'm looking at a stop hunt on the weekly right now. So far we still have not gotten any swing lows taken out on the weekly, so at least a stop hunt on the weekly before higher prices. Okay, now what I'm preferring is that it can trade down into this level here. That will be a good entry level for higher prices to take out the most recent highs that it's going to make in Q1, right? Quarterly highs and lows, very simple here for Bitcoin, right? And that's about it, right? I hope you enjoyed this analysis here. It's a quick one because I'm waiting for the monthly opening price, because the monthly opening price for next month, for month of April, it's going to be the opening price for the 3 months candle as well, the quarterly opening price as well. So it's very crucial to have that opening price before I can do further analysis on the lower time frames. Okay, and with this I'm gonna end this video here, right? If you enjoyed this, or if you find any value in this, right, do give me a like, right? If I see more I might be motivated to do more of such analysis here. Okay, and with this I will end the video.